Let's start with the basic idea that is easy to say and easy to misuse. Markets are forward-looking. What does that mean in practice?
It means prices reflect expectations about future cash flows, risks, and alternatives, not simply the conditions visible today. Suppose traders already believe an energy supply disruption is likely. Oil prices may rise before any barrels are actually removed from the market. The price is responding to the expected future shortage, plus the uncertainty around it. Now suppose a report suggests the disruption may become less likely. Oil can fall even though current physical supply has not changed. The market is revising the probability of future outcomes.
So the first move may be about risk, not inventory.
Exactly. In geopolitical markets, people often talk about a risk premium. That is, the extra price associated with uncertainty around supply, transport, or access. The term sounds precise, but it is not a number we can observe directly with a label attached. It is an interpretation of how much investors are paying for exposure to a possible disruption. A reported easing intentions could reduce that premium, but it would not eliminate all geopolitical risk. It would not guarantee lower oil prices. Other forces still matter: production decisions, demand, inventories, currency movements, weather, and the path of the global economy.
And the size of the reaction depends on what was already priced in.
Yes, a headline that confirms expectations may produce a small move. A headline that sharply contradicts expectations may produce a large one. The same event can have different market effects at different times because the baseline has changed. This is why good news and bad news are incomplete descriptions. A development can be good in isolation and still produce a muted reaction if investors expected something even better. Or it can be ambiguous in the real world and still produce a clear price move because it changes a widely held expectation.
The first checkpoint is simple. When you see a market reaction, ask, what expectation changed? Not, was the headline positive? Ask, which future outcome became more or less likely in the market's view? Let's make the first link more concrete. A geopolitical development involving a major energy-producing region can affect oil through several channels. The most direct is the perceived risk to future supply.
There are at least three versions of that risk. The first is physical disruption. Conflict could affect production facilities, pipelines, ports, or shipping routes. The second is policy disruption. Governments may restrict exports, change sanctions, or respond in ways that alter the flow of oil. The third is precautionary demand. Buyers may acquire more inventory because they are worried that supply will become harder to obtain later. That behavior can add pressure even before a physical shortage appears. If a reported pause in military action reduces the perceived probability of those outcomes, traders may reduce their willingness to pay for protection against them. Oil futures can respond first because futures prices are where expectations about future supply and demand are traded.
But a lower risk premium is not the same as a guaranteed decline in every oil price.
Correct. Oil is a global market. Demand expectations can move in the opposite direction. If investors interpret the geopolitical development as reducing the chance of a broader economic shock, they may also expect stronger economic activity. That could support demand for energy. The currency in which oil is priced can matter. So can inventories and producer behavior. A geopolitical easing may remove one source of upward pressure while another source remains. There is also a timing issue. The front of the futures curve may react differently from contracts farther out. A market can price immediate relief while still assigning risk to a later period.
That distinction matters because a chart gives us an observed price, not a single explanation.
Right. If oil falls after a reported easing, the cautious statement is, the move is consistent with a lower perceived supply risk premium. The stronger statement would be, the report caused oil to fall, and oil will continue falling. We do not know that from the price alone.
A useful visual here is not a prediction arrow, it is a conditional map.
That wording keeps the mechanism without pretending that the market has only one